All right, Cyber Traders, welcome on back here this Tuesday, April 26th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome on back here for our afternoon meeting. Great to see Michael and Robert and Michael B. Well, we have Michael D, Michael B, we have Robert. And then that's pretty much it so far, at least heading into this afternoon. Probably waking a few of us up, probably a few of us just naturally coming on back here, knowing it's afternoon meeting time. But great to see Patrick, Will, James, Kathleen, Brian, Jean, Karen, all joining us right now. Karen, no, don't apologize. No need to. It's been a slow afternoon. The NUTX trade, this is the only thing, that's really been entertaining us across the afternoon. It's been a hell of a pop, or like a really good opportunity. But I'll tell you what, I didn't trade this myself. I thought I was going to be chasing it off the first breakout that I had missed. And then, at that point, it just kept moving up without me. And I didn't really care to take another opportunity on it, or care to take an opportunity for that matter. Karen saying DWAC popped. Oh, well, I'll take a look at that in a bit. I didn't see that. So maybe that's happening right now. But, on the screen here, we have the NutX trade to begin NutX Health, I guess. The stock ended up making a huge pop back in April to begin that month. And, well, now to close it out, it's making another big pop. But, look what happened to begin April. Ended up popping, but the following days after, it's terrible, right? What goes up comes back down, folks. What makes the top percent gainers list makes the top percent losers list the following day. And, hey, if it's not exactly the following day, then trust me, it's going to be the day after that. So these are not really good swing opportunities, definitely good day trading opportunities. One of our students, Robert N., ended up, doing really well, it seems, on the stock throughout the afternoon. With that in mind here, and, I actually called it right off the top as it was beginning to, pull back down, make lower highs. It's just, remember, big trees fall hard. And it was right at that point, conveniently, thankfully, where this ended up beginning to snap down below 13. And now look at it, right? 2.5 points lower. So, this is expected. For as much as this stock went up, when's it going to begin to pull back? For as much as the EVOK stock ended up, popping to begin the pre-market. It kept going for a while, but you just know it's going to pull back at some point. And for as much as they go up, they typically come back down. Not to say twice as fast. That is like the line that we always say, but that's not always the case. But, they come down pretty damn fast, folks, right? So this ended up dropping right back down after the market opened up, the EVOK. Don't be surprised if NUTX here just keeps dropping and dropping heading into the afternoon. It's active enough across the afternoon. I'll slip it on the back end of our watch list. Hopefully find some legs and bounces. 10 would be, a respectable level to try and anticipate that bounce. Also, like we talked about in Traders Talk, our weekly live Q&A that we did this morning in inside the live trading room, on the EVOK trade, along all of the volume I followed, I also used fib retracements on that. You could also look to use a fib retracement at this point, see how it lines up with the 61.8, the 50%. I'm sure it's below the 31 or 32, whatever that is, percent, at this point, or near it. But, NutX, at least given how active it is across this afternoon, we'll put it on our list, just kind of on the back end, though. I'm not expecting too much of it. Even if it does find legs and holds support, I'm not expecting a new run right back on up to the highs. All right. Gene, there we go. The ATM machine here, picking up 22 cents on ATER. He just got out from 550, basically. He was in from 527. Let's turn over to that stock quick. And then from there, we'll jump over to Karen's DWAC that she had called out. And then really, we'll just go right from top to bottom otherwise and see what we can, put back on our, put on our list, put back on our list. The ADER trade, one that we could put back on our watch list here for this afternoon. We were trying to, look for a big move on this over the last, few weeks, and it's treated us pretty nicely for the most part. Made a nice drop off today as soon as the market opened up. Bounced really well from that 490 level, seemingly. Right now it ended up making a nice bounce from 525. That was an excellent entry from Gene. Got in 2 cents above that support. Actually, I see there. For right now, it actually still looks pretty compelling, trending back up. So for right now, I'll put this on our list. It's a stock we're definitely familiar with. So it's not like a, one-off situation like the NutX trade. All right, let's go to Karen's DWAC. And not just to say Karen's, it's really all of ours. We've done really well on the stock, too, back from late September, of course, right? So, definitely a great call from Karen right now, making a huge pop from previous high at the day levels near 38, shortly above 38 there. Once it broke that top, ended up completely taking off. Yeah, definitely. I mean, easily enough, we'll put this on our list. Not to say this is an easy trade, though. Look at the order book. Look at level 3. You don't really see too many orders out there altogether. You think that's easy to read or harder to read? If you think it's harder to read, which is what I know the majority of us believe that it seems to be, then it's going to be a tougher trade. I wouldn't look to trade as many shares. It's a great call. Obviously, given the pop here, it's up over 16%. Near the highs off 42. It definitely goes on our list. But if you're a little intimidated by trading the stock, how about this? And I don't know if I'll be right or wrong on this. This is definitely a good assumption, at least for perhaps any of our longer time students like Gene, who just picked up his 22 cents, or Kathleen, or Grant, if he's tuning in right now, or many others here inside the live trading room. What stocks over the last 6 months, 8 months have been moving with DWAC at times? Not all the time, but a good amount of times. What other stock or stocks have been moving with DWAC here? And we're all saying it. Jim and Michael and Brian, Karen, and everyone else saying, the fund trade, PHUN, right? Let's see. It's not really doing a whole lot right now, is it? I was pretty hopeful for it. It's only up 2.5%. And you could say it's kind of near the highs, but that's definitely a more speculative pick to put on our watch list. This is extremely tradable. So, unlike the DWAC, it has a really good spread, liquid order book. You know what? It wasn't BFRI. It was CFVI, if I'm not mistaken. Sometimes I get the trader's dyslexia, CFVI, this one also ended up popping. It wasn't back from mid to late September, but it was more like at the end of the year. It ended up making a big pop for us, this time here, probably back in late November. But back when DWAC had some news back then, I remember this popping with it at the same time. New SPAC that broke an all-time high. So this was an interesting day trade for us back then. So just wanted to check in on this one pretty briefly. Looks like this is gaining a little steam here. At least I like the volume, but I don't know. It's not really proving itself out much just yet. At least write it down on the side list here. The CFEI and fun. We'll check back in on those stocks here at the end. All right, so let's go right from top to bottom, folks. Otherwise, let's see what else we could add to the watch list here. We have the FRGE, also a crazy one, like the Nutx trade. This one's still kind of showing strength here. I mean, really, strong, it seems like, for right now. But the spread's unbearable. It's like a 28-cent spread right now, and I don't hope for that to get any tighter anytime soon, even if it shows to be like, 3-cent spread for a flash second. It's pretty wide consistently. So, I'll put this on our list, but this is a really, risky one to try and trade, at least, given how much it popped for us back in late March, early April, similar to the Nutx trade. I don't know if they're related to one another, if they're moving in sympathy of one another. It seems like they could be. It's just to say, at least, look what happened after they finished the runs. Don't hold your breath waiting for that exact move again. So, with where this stands on the intraday chart, I really like it. Still, seems to be really strong, and hopefully this can make a push perhaps up to that previous high that we had back from Thursday of last week off 20. I'll take it. All right, the JZXN, finally, it's at my 172. Not in it, though, right now. I ended up taking profits earlier. I ended up taking a small trade off of 155. I ended up missing, ultimately, the bounce from 150. I ended up turning over to this stock a bit after, and I saw the bounce, and it dropped off enough. So, I don't like chasing stocks, right? You know that if you're inside the live trading room. We just talked about that this morning in Traders Talk. And we talked about that just yesterday in Phase 2 class. We talked about that last week in Traders Talk. We talked about that last week in class. You know what I mean? You get it. I don't like chasing. I'll miss a move. It's fine. If I feel uncomfortable, I'm not going to gamble. This right here, was the perfect scenario where it's like, all right, you know what, I'll lean into it. It's a level 1 stock. It's got like a super tight spread, and it already bounced off 150, but not far enough. So I thought there was a chance it could move exactly to this 172. That was past support that clearly ended up breaking earlier here, 170, 172. So I leaned into it off 55. I got out at 68. But, otherwise, though, it's not really like showing a fast push here at this point. So I don't know. And I ended up getting out earlier. So, maybe I could have even gotten back in and then got out right here. But, right now, I don't know. It's just traded too much volume for me today. It ended up trading 50 million shares the last 50 or so days. It's been trading like a lot lower than that, 180,000 shares on average a day. So, that's very little, right? That's untradeable, basically. That's not tradable for what we scan for inside the live trading room typically. If there's a stock only trading 100,000, 200,000 shares total on the day, I'm not interested in that. So, much more days than not, I'm not interested in the stock. So I'm not expecting a big move again on that JZXN. If it happens, it happens. We'll call it out. If it pops, revisit that. CYN is showing some good strength, though. Man, another big move. Incredible. So we've been catching these of late, folks, and it's not from any specific sector or whatnot, just like the last 3 months. And ATER is one of them. HYMC is one of them that Chris is calling out. Veru was one of them that Kevin called out, recently here, and that was obviously a big move just from yesterday and into this morning. But we've seen these like nonstop runs day over day on the daily chart. So, it's not like we would recommend this as a swing trade right out the gate, right? But it's just interesting to see, afterwards, right? So, at that point, it definitely begs the question of when's it going to pull back? Where's it going to pull back from, right? Definitely, it's going to be put on our watch list here for this afternoon, at least on the intraday chart. This thing looks really strong still. It's got to break higher off its high of the day. And, we want to see another big buy spike, another big green volume bar there on my chart, a lot of green on the tape. But with that, though, hey, it still looks pretty strong here. So, for right now, it goes on our list. All right. GOVX, not much happening there. Probably not much happening here on ADVL. Well, it's something happening if you're able to short the stock, but it's hard to borrow on my platform. It's probably hard to borrow on most platforms here at ADVL, but dropping back down pretty steadily, probably down towards 5. Skip over this one, UVIX. I always mix this up with UVXY, which I will look at perhaps in a bit if the markets continue to drop off. I was pretty fearful of a drop off here heading into the close, heading into this afternoon meeting. Even like when the market was like building this higher low, that's actually when I was saying inside the live trading room, the market I feel like wants to break lower. It built the higher low and pushed up a bit, but look at where it is now. And, we might get that drop off here heading into the close. So, we'll see. You got the VIXI, SQQQ on the gainer side, obviously UVXY, that one actually. Let's just see the trend on it. Yeah, it's at the highs, right? So, for anyone in particular that trades, ETFs with good success, if that answer is no for you in particular, then I would honestly move on from it because it's extremely difficult to apply level 3 and like watch level 3. Even if you have Bookmap, if you have Bookmap, it's hard to watch this stock. So, I don't even need to say that to you folks there. I mean, you take one look at, level 4 Bookmap for an ETF, it's damn hard to read. So unless if you have other strategies that have consistently made you a profit with day trading an ETF, I would rather you trade CYN. I'd rather you trade the ATER trade. I don't know about the NutX trade, but in particular, UVXY for any of my people out there that do really well in the ETFs or this one in particular, hey, I'll put some spotlight on this. Put this on the watch list. Obviously, markets are dropping off. So, this SQQQ, VIXI, all of those, ETFs that are either inversely following the indexes or following the VIX, those are going to be at the highs. All right, HYMC that Chris called out just before in the live trading room. I referenced it just a moment ago. Nice pop, yeah, really good call. I didn't take a look at the chart when you made that call, Chris. But hey, for a stock moving right now, and HYMC is more of a level 1 or 2. I knew that this was likely to look pretty good. So hopefully it finds its legs here as it's beginning to pull back down off the highs, meaning hopefully it begins to build support and then squeeze right back on up. So, yeah, this one looks pretty interesting. Put this on our list. All right, let's hop on over to the losers list right now, folks. James calling out the FRGE. That one's already on the list. That one we checked out already. Let's just jump over to the loser side with the markets pretty much at the lows. I'd expect some, familiar names perhaps to be on the loser side here right now. Ptgx, this stock actually making a pretty nice dead cat bounce off of like 880, it seems. Broke under 9, bottomed out 880, bounced back up, made just about like a 60-cent push. So that's pretty solid. I mean, seems pretty tradable, volatile in a good way. Spread is pretty containable for right now. A few cents here and there, but it's not like the FRGE. It's not like the NutX trade or DWAC. So, you know what? I actually like this Ptgx here. Hopefully this trend continues, but if it doesn't, if it tops off here at past support that broke, then this could be a resistance. Respect the uptrend here first off the lows, but it's just tradable both ways. HSI, spotty, it's at the lows and shortable. But and it's also trading like crap volume, so like that's like the main reason why we would stay away from it. But otherwise spotty charts, so that typically goes hand in hand with each other. Low volume, spotty charts like inactive, inactivity. All right, let's see what else we got here, folks, on the loser side. I know Michael talked about JetBlue earlier, down like 10.5%. Seems pretty active. All right, I like it. I just want to see what else we got here first. Odds are we throw JetBlue on our watch list for right now. GE, I mean, geez, after the split, looks like they're dropping off quite a bit here. We're not going to put them on the watch list. I just want to look at the daily chart here. Yeah, I think they did the split. It was, I think, back in the beginning of 21 even. I think it was back in the beginning of 21. So from there, I mean, no bueno. It's only dropped off since. Typically, a stock does or a company does a reverse stock split for particular reasons. It wasn't as if GE was. I don't think GE was under NASDAQ listing requirements for them to do one, or New York Stock Exchange listing requirements, I should say. But otherwise, though, typically reverse stock splits, stock typically drops off afterwards. So no surprise there. FNGU, if I'm not mistaken, it's an ETF. We'll skip over that. ZY, I don't know if that's ETF, but it's $1.75 stock. It's like flat, nothing much going on there. All right, Kathleen, look at you. All right, let me refit my scanner here. Kathleen killed it on the FRGE trade just now. She got like $2.15. She got in from 1684. All right. Well, how about this for Kathleen? Well, actually, no, not for Kathleen, because Kathleen knows at this point because she just locked in a great profit. She knows definitely. But for everybody else, we just talked about this in class actually yesterday. If you were with me in the phase 2 stock course, when a stock is moving up and up and up and up and up and up and up, and it's testing a significant resistance for the first time, what are we expecting to see happen that first time, folks? I want you to say it there in the chat board for me. Got some chat here on YouTube right now, which I'll look at in the meantime. Dan asking about the AMC trade there, which we'll get to in a bit. Yeah, it falls off. It's a false breakout, at least, right? Now, could it continue moments later? Yeah, at times. You have to judge it. But otherwise, Karen, I like how she gets smoked. Yeah, I mean, you saw it on the NutX trade, and you see it all the time. But we were just saying, like, hey, like, it seems like this stock could have a good chance of hitting 20 later. I wasn't expecting it to be now. So, it's to say for as much as this was moving up and up and up, you just for the first time it's testing that resistance, you expect the false breakout. All right, popped above 20, came right back down under it. All right, let's just check out AMC quickly, and then we'll finish up because I don't see anything else inside the chat room and then inside on YouTube or Facebook Live. AMC, it's like watching the grass grow. It's down big, or it's down like enough where I would be interested in it, but it's like really slow right now. Let's just do one more run through for the side list stocks. Then if this looks the best, then I'll tag it on our list here at the end. Like American Airlines and Jetblue, I forgot about those. So to go back to Jetblue and the airlines, those I'd rather focus on for right now, to be transparent. Oh, Jeff, well, look at you. Jeff inside our live trading room just rubbing it in. Nah, I always tease that with him because he's on a different broker than us here. But on Questrade, NutX is shortable. So for him, he's able to get shares to short it, follow it on the way down. So it makes it a really good stock for him to follow at least. So, hey, for Jeff, he'll definitely be, he's probably already short on it. He's probably ready to cover from like 11.50. But nonetheless, though, it was $1 off. He said 10.50. I know him pretty well here. All right, nice trade, Jeff. Keep it going, man. Mike says CCL and the cruise lines are moving lower. They are, and this I'd say technically looks better than AMC because this is moving lower as we're talking. The airlines look like just more volatile, in my opinion. Even though this isn't breaking lower yet, it seems like just making it like a bigger move. They're around the same price, lingering around the same price, give or take a couple bucks. CCL, AAL. Normally AAL is the slower stock too, which is like kind of odd. So we look at Jets, JETS, draft week this week on Thursday. We'll see what the Jets get. But nonetheless, though, we got Jets here, the airline ETF, made a bit of a higher high off the last peak before 1 o'clock, but right back down, bit of a false breakout there. I'm interested in the airlines for right now. If they end up dudding off or don't really make as clean of a move, then we'll readjust accordingly by 3 o'clock or by 3:15 perhaps even. But for right now, kind of like group all the airlines together collectively. JetBlue, American Airlines, namely. If you want to trade the more expensive ones, like UAL is like probably like right, a little bit above the price range, so that's pretty good still. Boeing's more expensive, but otherwise, like the first three that I mentioned are pretty good. John in and out on UVXY, excellent, my man, nice. All right, folks, really quick for all of us on YouTube and Facebook Live, just a little housekeeping note. You can see it there scrolling down below on the yellow banner there. I know that Fausto's doing a webinar live this afternoon. And that is actually the case. I know that there was a quick scheduling error last week that I ended up correcting myself on the following day. But he will be on live this afternoon, this Tuesday, typically every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Be doing an introductory to day trading webinar. If you want to register for that webinar, even if you can't attend live, just go right down to the link on the yellow banner below. If you want to register, you could at least receive the recording after, so you don't if you don't have the chance to attend live. All right, folks, for all of us otherwise, I'll look forward to talking to you folks coming back on the mic here at 3:30 Eastern. Take care.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it today.